Help us get to our first 10,000 subscribers. Your encouragement drives us to keep sharing unforgettable stories. Thank you for being on this path with us. We hope today's story resonated with you. Now, let's begin. I know I deserve every harsh word thrown my way. I made a terrible choice. I betrayed someone who truly cared for me, and I failed to value the love he offered so freely. I can't change the past, no matter how much I wish I could. If only I had the power to go back and make different choices. My ex-husband, Alex, and I were together for 5 years. Throughout that time, he poured his heart into our relationship, giving me his love, his time, and his unwavering attention. In the beginning, I embraced it. His affection felt comforting. But with time, I started to take it all for granted. His constant devotion began to feel suffocating, or so I believed. Alex was, in every sense, an exceptional man. He knew how to meet halfway. He always chose kindness, always gave his best. And somehow, I started mistaking his generosity for weakness. He seemed too perfect, like he had no flaws. He gave himself to me so completely, it felt like the only thing missing was a halo above his head. He wanted children. But at the time, I didn't share that dream. I thought we needed to focus on ourselves, to build something stable before bringing a child into our world. Then came a decision I still regret with every fiber of my being. I decided I didn't want to have children with him. And deep down, I wasn't even sure I wanted to grow old with him. I had trained as a hairdresser and spent years working in small, low-end salons. After 2 years of struggle, I finally got hired at an upscale salon on the ground floor of a hotel. That's where I met Jenna, the salon owner and manager, who quickly became a close friend. She was only a few years older than me, and the place was named after her. Jenna had it all. She was stunning, slim, polished, and clearly invested in her appearance. But her outlook on men was cold and jaded. She believed they were only interested in one thing and weren't worthy of love. To her, men were to be used, not loved. She'd been married twice, once out of recklessness, the second time for the perks. Her second husband was significantly older, but wealthy. Thanks to him, she got an apartment, a car, the salon, and a generous amount of cash. Jenna changed lovers like seasons and often said to me, "Flash a pretty face, say the right things, work a little magic in bed, he's yours." A man's ego is meant to be played with. I began to fall under her spell. Life felt short, and she told me I should live it without regret. She'd say, "Alex seems so dull to me now." And then one day, she introduced me to Arthur, her latest fling. He was staying at the hotel on business. The three of us met at the hotel restaurant, and from the moment we sat down, Arthur started paying special attention to me. The signals were clear. Jenna didn't mind. Eventually, I gave in to temptation. That night, I ended up in Arthur's hotel room. The next morning, I had to face both Jenna and Alex. I came up with an excuse for Alex. It was my first infidelity, and like always, he forgave me, because he loved me deeply. As for Jenna, I wasn't sure how she'd react. But to my surprise, she brushed it off. "No man's worth a fight," she said. "If you want him, he's all yours." I was already getting tired of him. Things between Arthur and me moved quickly. Jenna helped me hide everything from Alex. Then one day, Arthur said the words I wasn't expecting, "I love you. I want you to be my wife. I can't share you with anyone, especially not your husband." By that time, I was completely swept up in him. Arthur had just a week left before leaving town and gave me that time to break the news to Alex and decide. But I couldn't bring myself to hurt Alex. If he had shown indifference, walking away would have been easier. But he was still the same, devoted and kind. I needed something more than feelings to justify leaving him. I needed an excuse. So I devised a scheme. I asked Jenna to seduce Alex. Oddly, she agreed. She enjoyed that kind of thrill. But the next day, she came back visibly upset. "No man's ever turned me down," she said. "But your husband?" He just kept repeating, "I love my wife." That moment pierced through me. A pang of guilt hit hard. Was I really doing the right thing? Then Jenna proposed something else. On my day off, I set a fancy table at home. I made sure there was plenty to drink, even though Alex rarely drank. We invited Jenna over, and she secretly spiked his glass. Not long after, Alex passed out. Together, we carried him to the bedroom, undressed him, and laid him on the bed. Jenna took her clothes off too and lay beside him. Looking back now, I see how revolting and shameful that moment was. I had betrayed a man who loved me more than anyone ever had. The next morning, I discovered them together. A loud fight broke out. Alex was stunned and claimed he remembered nothing. But I didn't want to hear it. I packed my bags, called a taxi, and told him I couldn't forgive such betrayal. I filed for divorce, quit the salon, and left town. I played the heartbroken wife to perfection. Tossed my ring and apartment keys, grabbed my luggage, and walked out, leaving behind a man crushed by guilt and confusion. Jenna smirked as I walked away. I went straight to the hotel where Arthur was waiting. 2 days later, we flew to his home in New York. Since Alex and I had no children and I didn't ask for anything, the divorce was finalized quickly. He simply received the papers. Life with Arthur felt like a dream at first. The first 2 months were bliss. He showered me with love, attention, and gifts. But it didn't last. Soon, he grew controlling and possessive over the tiniest things. While he openly flirted with other women, I longed to have a baby with him. But he forced me to end the pregnancy. He cut me off from everyone and eventually locked me inside the house. The man who once seemed like my dream became a nightmare. And in those moments of despair, all I could think about was Alex. I cursed myself for the choices I made, for the damage I caused. Every hour became unbearable as memories of our life haunted me. I missed him more than words could express. But I knew I couldn't undo the pain. One day, I broke down and tried calling him. His number had changed. I even searched for Jenna, but she had vanished too. Eventually, I hit my limit. I chose to leave Arthur and go back to Alex. I believed he still loved me, that he would take me back, that he could forgive everything. I rang the doorbell to the apartment we once shared. Jenna answered. I barely recognized her. Gone was the glamorous, confident woman I'd known. In her place stood someone calm, modest, and heavily pregnant. She invited me inside, and everything was different. New furniture, a nursery full of warmth. It felt like a punch to the stomach. In the kitchen, Jenna told me her story. She'd gone through her own suffering, and Alex had helped her heal. After I walked away, she had stepped in. She stood by him, lifted him from his lowest point. They were now together, and she was carrying his child. She looked at me and said, "You never valued him. You threw away someone rare and precious." I had no response. She explained that after I left, she sensed something was wrong and came back. She found Alex about to end his life. Had she not returned in time, he'd be gone. She saved him. Jenna, the same woman who once didn't believe in love, found real meaning with Alex. She cared for him when I had turned away. Now, they were building a life together. I asked in disbelief, "You're pregnant by my husband?" She looked me in the eye and said firmly, "No. I'm pregnant by my husband." She held up her hand, showing the wedding ring. They'd gotten married 6 months earlier, shortly after learning she was expecting. They were a family now. Jenna warned me not to reach out to Alex again. "He probably doesn't want to see you after all you've done," she said coldly. "I'll fight for him with everything I've got." Her words shattered me. It felt like the ground had opened beneath my feet. I hadn't just lost Alex, I had lost him for good. And it was entirely my doing. I left the apartment in a daze, feeling completely empty. I wanted to blame Arthur, Jenna, even Alex, for moving on so fast. I tried convincing myself he still cared. But deep down, I knew the truth. He was gone. And there was no going back.